Good morning and welcome students in level 4 organizational behavior class. Today we will discuss teams and teamwork. Let me share the slides with you first. Teams and teamwork lecture 7. Today you will learn and you will be able to distinguish between a team and a group. What is team and what is a group? You can identify and describe the 4 types of work teams. You can explain the ecological model of work team effectiveness, and you will learn why teams fail, why they can't achieve their targets or goals, and how they fail. And you will list at least 3 things organizations can do to build trust. You will be able to distinguish 2 types of cohesiveness and summarize the related research findings. You will be able to define quality circles, virtual teams, and self-managed teams. We will start first from team. What is team? Team is defined as a small number of people with complementary skills who are committed to a common purpose, performance goals, and approach for which they hold themselves mutually accountable. It is a group of small people who work together and they have a common purpose and they have goals and they support each other to perform that task. And now we will see the advantages of team-based working. What are the advantages of team-based working? It gives speed and cost effectiveness while retaining high quality, and you can also achieve the quality of work when you work in a as a team. It will speed up it will speed up your task and you can complete it with the help of others in less time, and it will also give you quality of work learning. You learn from each other. As you are working in a team, you learn from each other. Innovation, so some people give new ideas, and these new ideas you learn from the workers in a team. Process more information, processing more. When you get more information from your co-workers, you act upon that information and utilize while working your task. Productivity, it increase productivity, and it also saves times. Now we will see what is the difference between team and a group. In last lecture, we discussed group. A group can be defined as a 2 or more interacting and interdependent individual who come together to achieve particular objectives. They have some objective, but they don't have a long-term goals. But in a team, they have objectives and they have goals, long-term goals, and they try to achieve those goals together. A condition that must be fulfilled before a group becomes a team. And these are the elements which a group has to complete before becoming a team, which is shared goals. It should have shared goals, though they have objectives, short-term objectives, but they have to create more goals, shared goals, interaction to achieve. They should have mutual understanding interaction to achieve those goals. Well-defined and interdependent roles. In teams, they have well-defined tasks and roles, and they depend each other. They have to learn this before becoming a team. They have an organizational identity as a team with a defined function. In teams, they have organizational identity. They know that they are working in this organization and they have their own tasks which are awarded to them by the organization, and they have to achieve those. And when a group joins a team, becomes a team, they have to perform these things also. Now we will discuss team effectiveness, how to check team effectiveness and how to apply it. We can learn this from this table. It was a research done in Israeli tank crew, and we will see this model. Ability of Israeli tank crew members and improvements in effectiveness. So they divided the crew members in different groups, and they divided on the basis of their knowledge, skills, and abilities. Some have high knowledge, high ability, and high skills, and some have low. They divided in different groups, and at the end they gather data, and they produce results that, and they showed that the members who had high ability and high skills, they performed well as compared to medium and the lower ones. And the maximum result they got, it was from high ability tank crews, and the lowest were low ability tank crews. You can see this model. Low ability tank crews, lower than expected effectiveness. They showed even lower than expected effectiveness, and high and low. There were some high level and were mixed with low level, and they gave a medium result. But when we see the high quality crew members who had the high skills, ability, and knowledge, they gave even more than the expected results. And the high ability tank crews perform the best, and the low the worst. Researchers discovered an important interaction effect. Each member, and it was that each member's achievement was influenced by the performance of the other members. And after this study, they concluded that working in a group, each member's performance was affected by other members' uh, performance, and they learned from other members, and they utilized, and it was affected by other members. Team effectiveness, a contingency model for staffing work team and effective use of available table. And if you have team, how you will divide it and how you will utilize it to achieve a task. This is first thing is staffing decision. How you will staff it, how you will divide the team. Then you will spread if you have a high quality, low quality, and middle quality. You will see if you want to achieve in a better way, then you will spread talent around. You will spread talent around. And if you want to achieve the good result in a quick manner, then you will concentrate talent at a certain place. We will see it how it works. Yeah, in organization seeks to improve the performance of all group or trained novices. High ability personals can be spread around. If you want to take more results performance, then high ability personnel can be spread around to complete a task. This option would be appropriate in a high volume production and operation. If you want to achieve high production and operation, then spread the high talent around, spread around. However, if the desired outcome is to maximize performance of the best group, then high ability personnel should be concentrated. If you want to get the maximum performance, best performance, then you should concentrate, you should put the high quality members, high skilled members together to perform a job. The second option would be advisable in research and development departments, and where the high quality skilled, where you will apply those in a research oriented field. You will apply this and they can give the best result. For example, where technological breakthrough needs to be achieved, extraordinary achievements require clusters of extraordinary talents, and you will achieve these objectives: improve performance of all work groups, train and develop new talent. You will get maximum performance, and also the trainees will get help from the highly skilled people, and also maximize performance are best from the best groups. To get high level team effectiveness, what we should organization or managers or leaders should do for a team to work well, it should be a real team. Be a real team, and it should follow the rules and guidelines and structure of a team. Having a compelling direction, they should have a specific direction how to achieve that target. Have an enabling structure, and they should have a proper structure, who is the leader who of the team, and who are the supporting team, and who will perform this specific task. They should have proper structure, enabling structure, have a supportive organizational context, and they should perform in an organization. Organization should support them. If they need anything, organization should provide them. Have access to expert coaching, and they should have also expert coaches. If they need any help from the coach how to perform a particular task, it should be available. Coaching staff should be available. This is how we can get the effective teamwork. Now we will discuss what is team role and how team complete tasks. Task and role. First, we will see what is task. Task refers to the nature of the work a team is to perform. It is a work a team has to perform. It is called task. And roles refer to the internal functioning of the team. What something someone is performing inside a team. What is his job? It is called role. Team members tend to have both task roles and social boundary spanning roles. 10 roles shown in the picture are taken from the work of Belbin. Belbin gave this structure model. Belbin says in a team they have to complete 10 roles. And what are they? Some are social roles, some are boundary spanning roles, some are task roles. And he says that these social roles are calibrator, communicator, cooperator. Boundary spanning roles are counsel and coordinator. Task roles are contractor, creator, contributor, completer, and critic. These are the task roles when performing in a team. And 5 of 10 roles are task roles focused on the work of the team. Task roles focus on the work of the team, including planning, monitoring, change to the task, information sharing and expertise, and action follow up, and on questioning how things are done. These are task roles. And what are the social roles? Social roles are related to the interaction between the team members and on avoiding unwanted group malfunction such as loafing and groupthink. Social roles relates to the interaction of the group members between them, and they provide guidance how to avoid unwanted malfunction and loafing and group thinking. The boundary spanning tasks are related to the fact that teams interact externally, both getting information from outside and coordinating with other parts of the organization. Boundary spanning, you can cross the boundary and you can get support from the organization, other staff and other parts. It is called boundary spanning, and it is what type of roles are counseling and coordination. Team roles and team task, different roles in team. Belbin's theory and Belbin gave this model: do roles, think roles, and social roles. Do roles. Do roles which you have to do are implementer, shaper, completer, finisher. Do roles you have to do are the person who complete the roles, complete to, these are implementer, who implements, shaper who gives shape, complete finisher and who completes and finishes the task, and think roles are specialist, monitor, evaluator, and plot. Specialist who has a knowledge of special things and who knows how to perform a certain specialized thing. Monitor, who monitors the things, how to perform a task. Evaluator, who check the progress and performance of the workers. And plant, where they work. The plant, the place where they work. And social roles are resource investigator, investigator, team worker, and coordinator. They perform in a group and they coordinate between the teams members, and they check their coordination, and they check how the team is working, and they investigate some issues related to the tasks. These are the roles according to Belbin's theory, which people do in a team. And typology of team, what names are given to teams. And typology of teams, what names are given to teams who perform. There are some, he says there are 4 teams: advice teams, project teams, production teams, and action teams. Production teams, action teams, project teams, and advice team. These are 4 types of team that work in an organization. Eric Sundstrom and his colleague developed this typology of team. This model was given by Eric Sundstrom and his colleagues. And these 4 teams are advice, production, project, and action teams. Each of these teams identifies a basic purpose. They perform a basic purpose, and they are given a target and specific role in an organization to achieve the target. For instance, advice teams tend to make recommendation for managerial decisions. Advice teams gives advice to managers and also some recommendation for manager decisions, and seldom make final decisions themselves. They don't make decisions. The advice team don't make decisions. They only give advice to the manager or the other teams. In constant production and action, in contrast, production and action team actually carry out the decision. And who takes the decisions? The decisions are taken by the production and action team of the management, and advisory team gives only advice, and production and action teams takes decisions. And in this way, these 4 teams perform within an organization. Team tasks, how to complete team tasks, what are the tasks and how to complete them. Heckman gives 3 classes of tasks. Heckman gives 3 classes of tasks. These are production, idea generation process, and problem solving. And these are high interdependent pool and sequential interdependence. Heckman gives 3 tasks in every organization. When the team perform, they have to complete these 3 tasks. One is production. If if a company or organization produce things, and the ultimate goal is to produce things, and it is called production. Idea generation, if it is consultancy company, and its job is to give ideas or consultation and produce new ideas according to their talent and their role. Problem solving, and if they are advisory or problem solving agency, they do problem solving suggestions. And within organization, every organization almost have these 3 circles of production, idea generation, and problem solving. And in this way, they perform the tasks. Implications for identifying and developing good team players. How do implement, identify, and develop good team players? And interpersonal KSAs. KSAs are knowledge, skills, and ability. Interpersonal knowledge. When you are choosing a team, you look at the knowledge, skills, and ability of the team members, and they should be able to conflict resolution from win-lose to win-win. They should be able to solve a problem, and they should perform like from win-lose to win-win, and they should perform if they are losing anything, and with the interpersonal skills they can achieve the goal, and they can put the organization in a win-win situation. Collaborative problem solving, collaborative problems, how they can solve the problem collaboratively with the help of each other. Communication, verbal and non-verbal, they can give communication, verbal and written or verbal, and they can communicate with each other. Self-management cases, self-management cases, self-management cases are the ability, skills and ability when someone manages himself or themselves. Goal setting or performance management, they what they do, the members set their own goals and they give the performance. They do their own planning and they achieve it with the coordination of other members. These are the skills. Interpersonal, it means between the members of a team, and self-management cases which are related to person's own abilities and own skills and own progress. Why do work teams fail? Pitfall and stumbling blocks. We will see why sometimes teams can't achieve their goals, and what are the factors that affect teams' performance. These are the elements. Sometimes they have hidden agendas. They have hidden agendas, and they team members have hidden agendas, and they work according to that, and they can't complete their task. Lack of understanding, sometimes they can't understand, members can't understand each other and they can't perform properly. Lack of leadership, if they have a leadership that can't lead from the front, they can also um, have a poor result. Wrong mix of team members, if you will mix, if they will choose a team of wrong members, and you will put in wrong groups or task to perform, they can't complete the task properly. Unhealthy team environment, if the environment is not good, there is a mutual distrust, they don't cooperate with each other, and they have some hatred feelings for others, it means it has an unhealthy team environment. It will affect their performance. Why do work team fails? Pitfalls and stumbling block. Why we will see these are the elements that affect problems typically experienced by team members. These are the problems which are faced by the team members and they can't perform their task. Teams try to do too much too soon. They try to achieve early. That is why they fail. Conflict over differences in personal work style. They sometimes they have conflicts with each other that how to perform the task. Too much emphasis is on result, not enough on team process. They focus on the results and they don't look at the process stage and they look on the results. Unanticipated obstacles causes team to give up. Unanticipated, they don't expect the obstacles that may come in the way, and they don't they can't foresee the obstacles, and when they face those obstacles they can't achieve their task. Poor interpersonal chemistry, self-appointed expert do not fit in. Poor interpersonal chemistry, if people don't have the ability to fit in a team and they have different type of personalities, it will affect team's performance. Lack of trust, and the major thing is lack of trust. If team lacks trust, then they can't perform the task properly. Now we will discuss what is team building and building team. What is team building and how teams are built. Team composition. First, what is team composition? How it is composed of? When choosing a team leader, what they will be task capabilities, personality, interpersonal style, teamwork skills, and past experience. Choosing a team, what the team leader will see, he will see whether the members have the capabilities to perform a task, and what type of personality a person has, whether he has the capacity to face these dangers, and whether he has skills, interpersonal style he can perform in a team. He is a team member, he can speak with others, he can get support from the others, he can cooperate with the others. Teamwork skills, whether they have the skills required for the task, and he can utilize with the team members. And past experience, whether he has performed this task before and he has any experience of working in a team. And team design. And Hackman says five requirements which are mentioned in the previous slide: task, abilities, personality, interpersonal style, teamwork skills, past experience. And then he says ideal team size is 4 to 6 person. He says 4 to 6 people can perform a task very uh, in a proper way. In this short type of a team, they will work with each other, they will coordinate, and they will approach each other if they have any. If the member increases, then he says the quality may affect. Development team members self-management skills. How team member skills can be increased. Encourages self-reinforcement, encourages self-observation, evaluation, encourages self-expectations, encourages self-goal setting, encourages rehearsals, and encourages self-criticism. Developing team members self-management skill. How to develop self-management skills, how a team member can improve or his skills can be enhanced. And these are the personal, these are not the co-worker, these are the personal, how they can be. And self-reinforcement, it means that if someone thinks yes, he can enforce, he can do, he can apply these skills and he can perform, yes, this type of spirit when comes, team member can perform. Encourage self-observation. If a team members has the capacity to observe things, it affects the progress. And if someone has the capacity of self-encouragement in a difficult task, if someone has the capacity to encourage himself, yes, it increases the progress. Self goal setting, if someone has the ability or capacity to set goals and to achieve them in a specific time period, it will increase progress. Rehearsal, if someone fails, he can do it again and again, rehearse it, and he can perform. Encourages self-criticism. If a team member has the capacity to criticize himself in a case if he can't perform properly, then it will increase his capabilities. Effective teamwork through cooperation, trust, and cohesiveness. This is teamwork. How cohesiveness means unitedness, trust and cooperation can be increased. How to build trust? Through communication. Trust can be increased through communication, through talking with each other, with the team leader, with the co-team members. Support, from the support of other members, team members. Respect, if you will give respect to team members, definitely you will get respect from others. Fairness, if you are fair, team members will also be fair and your leader will also be fair with you. Predictability, if you predict something is going to happen, yes, it can, and you can share with the team members, yes, it will enhance the cohesiveness and cooperation and trust in the team. Competence, if someone is competent and he cooperate with the others to achieve task, it also give cohesiveness in because other members can utilize his competency and they can achieve the task. Evidence about virtual teams. What is virtual? Well, virtual teams are that work digitally. Nowadays, in COVID period, we are having this type of evidence about virtual teams who are performing. Group development process is similar to that for face-to-face team. It works like the same face-to-face, but they use digital stuffs like through laptop, through Zooms, and they use these instruments of recording, and they perform. Internet chat rooms create more work and yield poorer decision than face to face. It says that uh, there are two types of like internet chat rooms. You can get help from internet chat rooms, and also you can get help from face to face. And it says face to face is better than the internet chat rooms. Problem solving or performing teams working. Successful use of groupware requires training and hands-on experience. Successful use of groupware requires training and hands-on experience. It says for proper working of a team, it needs training, and they should be experienced persons. This is the way they can provide a better they can give better results. Inspirational leadership has a positive impact on brainstorming. Inspirational leadership, if a leadership is inspirational, and he performs task from the front, and he has a charismatic personality, he can inspire the core team members, and he can enhance the progress of the team. Face-to-face group reported a higher degree of cohesion satisfaction, and it says this is the evidence, the result we achieve. They say when you are working with face-to-face, it gives uh, high degree of cohesion, unitedness, and satisfaction and results. The exchange of information in face-to-face team is no more effective than in virtual team. Exchange in face-to-face team is no more effective than in virtual team. And they say if you want to share information, digital team or virtual teams, it is better than the face to face. In face to face, they share with the other, they intrigue with others, they give clue to other. But in exchange of when you exchange the ideas through virtual teams, it is better. Conflict management is particularly difficult for synchronous virtual teams. Conflict management is particularly difficult. If you have a problem, especially like technological problem, it is difficult to use the virtual teams, and it affects the progress of a team. Now we will discuss self-managed team, the teams which are managed himself or by other team members themselves. A self-managed team is a group of employees that is responsible and accountable for all or most aspects of producing a product or delivering a service. Traditional organizational structures assign tasks to employees depending on their specialist skills or the functional department within which they work. A self-managed team carries out supporting tasks such as planning and scheduling the workflow and managing annual leave and absence, in addition to technical tasks. Management and technical responsibilities are typically rotated among the team members. Self-managed team can in organization, self-managed teams carries out the task. What tasks are they perform? Planning, scheduling, overflow of workflow, division of the workflow, managing annual leave absence. They can work in human resource management in addition to technical tasks, and also management and technical responsibilities they can perform. Now we will see a behavior of leader outside the team. Self-managed team self-managed team, how they behave. And we will see behavior of leader outside the team. What is behavior of the leader outside of the team? Make team members responsible, accountable for their work. Uh, Leader, team leader, what is his role and how he behaves for a team. Make team members responsible and accountable for their work. Base decisions on team suggestions. Encourage team members to take control of their work. Create an environment in which team members attempt to solve team related problems. Show trust and confidence in the team's abilities. These are the duties of the roles of the leader. What are he makes the team members accountable. He perform a base for decision making. He creates an environment, good working environment where team operates, and he shows trust and confidence in team members' abilities. And what are the team responsibilities and how team responds to team leader. The team sets its own goals and standards. Team assigns tasks to members. The members develop their own quality standard and related technique for measuring compliance. Team members make use of learning and development opportunities. Team members handle their own problem with internal and external customers. The team works with the whole product or service. These are the tasks which a team does, and team responds to team leader. And now we will see what is the structure, social structure of self-managed teams. Social structure, the team is supported by other teams and departments when needed. The team has access to and uses required information. The team has access to and may use resources of other teams. The team has access to and use resources inside and outside the organization. The team communicate with other teams. The team make its own rules and policies. Self-managed team, when they perform in a organization or outside an organization, what they do, they get support from the other members or the other departments to complete their task. And their social this is called social structure, how they perform, how they do job in a organization with the help of other departments or other members of the team organization. Evidence about self-managed team. This is evidence. Now we will see what is the result, how the team, we were talking about the self-managed team and whether he perform team self-managed teams perform well, bad, what is outcome like this. Self-managed teams had a positive impact on productivity, a positive impact on specific attitude relating to self-management, responsibility and control, no significant impact on general attitude, no significant impact on absenteeism or turnover. These are the factors self-management team had when it performs. And we were talking about self-managed teams. First, we discussed the teams, what is team, how it is made, and what is required from the team, how it can improve its work, and different theories about the team. And at the end, we discussed self-managed teams. And in next lecture, we will discuss decision making. Thanks, students, for staying with me during this lecture. Thank you. Bye.